All right, so I'm on the phone here with Rob, who's got a few EcoSAT units, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the installation and setup procedure and how he found the whole system. So, can you hear me all right, Rob?
I can. We have both the blue and the green.
Right. Okay.
Monitoring several different tanks.
Yep. And what made you decide to look into remote monitoring? Why now?
Oh, look, it was to save time. Found blokes, you know, there's a couple of hours each day checking water and troughs, and where time could be spent better elsewhere.
Yep.
And yeah, just.
All right. And how did you, when you decided to get some remote monitoring, what did you do to get more information? Did you just Google, or how did you find out more?
Yeah, I googled quite a few different products until I come across one that I was happy with. Yeah.
And how did you decide on? You've obviously said you got EcoSAT blues and greens. How did you know that those products were the one for you?
Oh, look, talking to yourself and comparing them with other products, I found that they were the best suited and the value for money with the monitoring, you know, and the also, you know, the growth that we could put into it with all the extras down the track of the bore switches and flow meters and rain gauges and whatever else can go with it.
Right, okay, oh, that's good. Once you received the equipment and you got it all, how did you find installing it? Did it take you long?
Oh, after the first, it was so simple, like, you had it in minutes and you got one set up pretty well.
How many minutes?
Oh, look, if it took us 5 minutes, it might have taken us 5 or 10 minutes. Probably took us longer to screw it onto where we wanted to put it than anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, okay. And how do you go about, now that you've got it all installed and set up, how do you access the information? Do you jump on the website, or what do you do?
I do jump on the website very rarely, just to see patterns mainly.
Right.
But we just rely on the alarm to say, right, you need to fill it. So that's through a text message and an email, but mainly text message is what we work off. And yeah, we just have it set to give us a reminder, and yeah, it's really good.
So when you came to setting up the website, how did you find that? Was it very difficult to set up the alarms?
No, not at all. Like, yeah, it being a new system that you'd never looked at, you know, we had to work our way around it for a bit until we got familiar with it. But after that, it was simple as pretty simple entries.
And now that you've had the system in and running, how many times or how often do you check the tanks now versus before you had EcoSAT?
Oh, very rarely. Rely a lot on EcoSAT, and it's doing the job for us, so there's no need to go to the tanks. We know straight away that, okay, we've got a leak. Yeah, if you've had a leak and you've lost a lot of water, you'll go to the tank.
Right.
But if things are working fine, you don't need to go there at all.
Right. And overall, taking into account the cost of the product and the monthly fees, how do you find the sort of the value versus cost benefit?
Oh, well, when I was first looking into it, I'm thinking, oh, is it worth it? And I was umming and ahhing, but now I think it's cheap. Very, very cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're happy with the system? Would you recommend it to new people?
I recommend it to everyone I talk to about water. I'd say, look, you know, these water monitoring systems are the go.
All right, thanks very much for your time, Rob.
No worries.